Hello class, today we are looking at applying the distributive property. So the essential question is, how do I apply the distributive property? Learning intention. I'm learning to apply the distributive property. So you've got a warm up. It says circle the terms that are like terms with x. Underline the terms that are like terms with x squared. We have to know what like terms are to be able to simplify after we distribute. So, pause the video, circle the terms that are like terms with x, and underline the terms that are like terms with x squared. Well, I hope you tried it on your own. We're supposed to circle the like terms for x. This has an x in it, this has an x in it, this has an x in it, nothing else. As I'm looking, here's another x, and that's it. The rest of the terms are either numbers, which we call constants, or x squared or x to a higher term, higher exponent. We're supposed to underline the ones that are with x squared. Anything that has an x squared in it, we can use. Even if the coefficient is fractional, it's still a like term. So, hopefully you were able to understand and do that correctly. If not, you need more practice with identifying like terms. Now, the distributive property allows you to simplify expressions by multiplying each term inside the parentheses by a number outside of the parentheses. In other words, for all a, b, and c, which are elements of our real numbers, a times the quantity of b plus c is equal to ab plus ac. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to simplify some expressions. We don't have any distributing on this, but we do have to be able to combine like terms. So as I'm looking at the first one, what are my like terms? Well, I've got 8 minus 5. Those are both numbers. They're both constants. I can combine them. So I've got 2x. That doesn't change. 8 minus 5 is 3, so it's 2x plus 3. For the next one, I have numbers, and then I have variables. I've got to combine both of those. Well, the 4 plus 10 is going to be easy. Negative 2.5 plus 3.5, they're opposite signs, so I subtract. Okay, the 5's cancel out. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I'm left with 1x. So I've got x plus 4 plus 10 is 14. Okay, pause the video and see if you can do this one on your own. If you can, then you know that you're understanding the concept. Once again, we've got numbers and we've got variables. This time with the variables, it is all positive. I've got 6.2 plus 4.3. I don't need, while I'm trying to figure out the total, I don't need to put the x beside it, but it wouldn't make it wrong if I did. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 6 plus 4 is 10. So it's 10.5. 10.5x. I have -5 plus -8. They're both negatives, so I combine them with addition, and I keep that negative sign. 5 plus 8 is 13. Keep your negative sign. So this is 10.5x minus 13. Okay, the next one is actually distributive. If you're looking at it, we've got a minus sign out here, and that is the same as multiplying everything by -1. So to bring it out of, we know that we can add the opposite. So to be able to bring it out of the parentheses, I want to make this a plus. I'm going to change my signs in here to the opposite, negative and positive there. 3x plus 7 minus 4x plus 6. See how I brought them out of parentheses with those opposite signs. Now I've got numbers, and I've got variables. This time I'm going to rearrange so you can see what's going on. 3x minus 4x plus 7 plus 6. 3x minus 4x, 3 minus 4 is what you're looking at. They're opposite signs, so I subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. I keep the sign of the larger, so it's going to be a negative x. I don't need the 1. Negative x. 7 plus 6 is 13, plus 13, and we're done. So that's how you simplify. But how does a distributive property work into it? Well, we'll find out. Okay, as we distribute, we take that term outside and multiply by everything inside. 3 times 2x. 3 times 2x is 6x. Bring your minus sign down. 3 times 6 is 18. You're done. Okay, let's look at the next one. We're multiplying by 1/2. We've got two terms inside. What is 1/2 of 10? Or 10 divided by 2? That gives me 5. Minus, what is 1/2 of 4? 4 divided by 2 is 2, so it's 2x plus 3. The 3 is outside the parentheses. We do not change it. Now, I've got numbers, and I do have one variable. So, negative 2x plus 5 plus 3. I rearranged it. Negative 2x, 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 8. Any questions? If you're still struggling, back the video up. Distribute. 6.1 times both of those. So 6.1 times x is 6.1x. Plus 6.1 times 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Bring your point down. 2 times 6 is 12. So that's plus 12.2 minus 9.3. Okay, now I've got numbers that I need to combine. $12.2 minus 9.3. Okay, I can't take 3 away from 2, so I've got to borrow. I will borrow 1 from here, that leaves me with 1, and bring that 1 over here. 12 minus 3 is 9. Bring my decimal point down. I've got 11 minus 9 is 2. So the 6.1x does not change. But this time it is plus 2.9. Okay, take a minute and look at what we're distributing on the next one. It's actually going to be a negative 4.2. So as I'm looking at this, I've got negative 4.2 times 2, because it's 2x. 2 times 2 is 4. Bring my decimal point down. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. So I've got 8 minus 8.4x. I've got to do the same thing with the negative 5. Negative times negative is a positive. 4.2 times 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Put the 0 down, carry the 1. There's your decimal. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 more is 21. I've got 3 numbers I've got to combine now. I start with the negative 8.4x plus 8 plus 21 plus 12. Okay, I know that addition is commutative, which means order does not matter. So I'm going to add the 8 and the 12 first. Negative 8.4 plus 8 plus 12 is 20. That's why I added it first. Plus 21. And I forgot my x here. Okay, now negative 8.4x. 20 plus 21 is 41. Plus 41, and I'm done. Okay, pause the video. See if you can complete. This time we're actually solving. Can you do it on your own? Do you know how to distribute and then do the 2-step equations? Pause the video, please. I do hope you tried. I'm multiplying by 5. If I look over here, this is a factor of 5 too. I could actually divide by 5 and then use smaller numbers. So I think that is I could either distribute here, or I can look and realize that both sides are divisible by 5. So if I divide by 5 here, I make myself a whole lot less work. And I've got negative 2 minus 3k is equal to, well, 65, it goes into 50 10 times. 15's left over, and so it would be 13. 65 divided by 5. Got 5 here. I bring down the 15 divided by 3 is equal to 13. Okay, now look how much smaller those numbers are. Is that the way you did it? Did you even think of that? Mathematicians love to take the easy way. So over here, if you notice, we can do the same thing. But let's finish this one up first. I need to get all the numbers to one side. I have a -2. The opposite is a +2. I've eliminated it here. I'm left with -3k is equal to 15. Last step, divide by -3. And k is equal to -5. Okay, what about the next one? Did you think about dividing that -6 out first? It'll make the numbers a lot smaller. Okay, so this is gone. N minus 5 is equal to -11. Now it's a one-step equation. Add 5 to both sides. I've eliminated it here. N is equal to, well, I've got a positive and a negative, so I know that I have to subtract. 11 minus 5 is 6. Keep the sign of the larger, that's negative, so this is -6. So, you know you're successful when you can use the distributive property to simplify an expression or solve an equation. So this is a distributive property.